Greetings, Gaz at Fermented World. Today I'm going to be adding more honey to my sack mead, which I did test yesterday, but we're going to check it again, check the gravity, write it down, and then from there we'll know what better to do after. So I'm going to pop them things there with all the sanitized stuff. I'm then going to take the turkey baster of justice and we're going to take a pull out of this so we can measure the gravity, see where it's at, see what it is doing or what it's not doing. Last gravity check was, it was right down to dryness, so it had gone to 1.000, so it was bang on the dryness. There was no residual sugars left in there. It can go further than that, to be fair. I've had one brew, it came out at like 0.990, so that's the lowest I've ever seen it. So we're looking at, it's about, probably say it's 110 at the moment. So write that down. 010. Now I had done the math already. When I did the first reading it was at 9.8 and now it's at 11.8 after it's fermented that other sugar that I put in. So always have a taste because that's what we do, and it just clears more room in there. It's really nice, really nice. Very fruity, slightly warming, and it's got a lovely colour to it. Looks a little bit like the Viking blood before I bottled that, to be fair. Not as dark though. Right, so let's pop that over there, and what we're going to do now is we're going to add more honey to this. Keep that out for now, as I want the room in here. I can always add it in later. So we've got some more, same honey again, organic blossom honey, and we're just going to add it like we did at the beginning. Just get it going in there. You always want to clear a bit of room out when you're adding more honey, because obviously when you put this in the volume will rise and you may end up having it going like bubbling over the top, so to speak. Takes a while for that to get in there, but it will be going in. And there's about another 300 grams here. I seem to put a bit more in when I did it last time, so we'll see. We'll see what occurs. So I'm going to go supersonic and get this in. Now back. Unfortunately, I didn't take enough liquid out to begin with, so I'm going to have to take some more out to be able to add this other honey in, which I haven't stirred in yet, so it should just be sat down at the bottom, which is fine. So hopefully I'm not going to draw any of that out because it just hasn't been mixed in yet. I'm going to put it into this for now, and I might be able to add it again at the end, but right now I do not want it in there. And I'm going drastic and taking as much out as possible without causing myself any mess. I'm actually going to move the hydrometer over to this sanitized cup I've got over here, and I'm going to take even more out because I need the room to mix it as well. Some of this might have to go back in. or we can just put it in the glass and we can drink it. So that in there will hopefully go back in, fingers crossed. So let's get the funnel back out again and add the rest of the honey, which is going to take forever. It does. Some people warm their honey up. I don't really bother, to be fair. I just sit and struggle. Life's a struggle anyway, isn't it? You know, fuck it. So now we just wait. And what we'll do is, I'm going to get some water in this and just give it a swirl around. Try and get as much as that sugary goodness out. In fact, I'm going to use some of this because this is sanitised. It would be ridiculous to not use it. Right then, so this is going to go in a sec. Gently swirling that round. Try not to introduce any oxygen in there. This could be racked off now and bottled, but that's not what I'm doing with it. I'm trying to get it to the point where it's got a... Oh shit, the bed, that was a bit messy. I was not expecting that. Right, okay, so that's all of that in there now. All the other honey, might leave that upside down just to see if we can get any more. Now I'm covered in shit. Right, so there's nothing else coming out of that now. Oh wait, yeah there is. Instantly, we've got some crazy shit going now, look. It's kicking right off. It's going really, really well, that. Which is another reason why you need the space room at the top. And it's calmed back down again now. I think that was just the extra sugary water being added. I think that's what's caused that. So now we've added that, we're going to get this, and at the same time as degassing it, we've got to stir that honey we've just put in. Now I know that there's yeast at the bottom of this, and I'm not bothered because I want it to carry on fermenting. So I'm not bothered about lifting all that yeast up. What I am bothered about is getting all that honey back into the water, just so that it can eat it up quicker, access it better, and so on. Now, I've got an experiment one over here. I'm not even sure if you can see that. There's stuff in the way. Where I added honey at the bottom, then water, then yeast, and then just closed it all up. And you can actually see at the level down here, it's eating away. The yeast is sat on top of the honey, which is just there, laying on the bottom, and you can see it actually eating away at it day by day. You can see the level going down from where it originally started, which is bloody cool, man. Proper geeking out over that. Anyway, back to the sack mead. So, I'm not going to add any more yeast to this just yet, but I'm going to see what this does over the next 7 days. I'm going to give it 7 days. If it manages to carry on fermenting, that's brilliant. And what we'll do as well is we'll take a hydrometer reading now we've got that extra honey in there, just so we can see what it's fermented and then add that to the overall ABV. Mixing honey takes forever, by the way. You just got to keep going and going and going and going. It's one of those things that, I mean, it will ferment it even if you don't, but why wouldn't you, you know? Why would you not mix it all in? Unless you're doing an experiment like I did with the other one there. And because all the honey was at the bottom with the experiment one, there was no way of taking a hydrometer reading. So I had to kind of gauge with the amount of honey that I'd put in it as to what strength it would come out at to begin with. So it's a bit of a no man's land, that one. I think we're good. I think that's all that honey now done. Let's take that out, have a look. Yeah, there's no it looks like slime if it's not mixed in. If you've mixed it all in well, it just comes out, drips like water. Yeah. So back that over here. Then we need to decant this out of there. Well, that's a lot to be drinking. Look at that. Woo! Happy days. I'm just going to dip this in the sanitizing water over here. Quick dip. And get that going alright. And then we're going to take another hydrometer reading. We're going to take another hydrometer reading to find out how much more ABV we've added, if we've added anything to that. And I'll also get another glass so I can taste it to see how sweet it is. So now it's jumped up to 1.030. Just make a note of that. 1.30, which is an extra 20 points to what was there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the lid on. That can go back in there. We're going to put this lid on and we're going to let it just crack on with what it needs to do. With a bit of luck, it's going to munch through that. I need to taste it actually, because the reason why I'm going to taste it again is if it doesn't go through that honey, then this is going to be the finished product. If the yeast gives up, this will be the finished product. So I need to know what it's going to taste like to see whether I'm going to need to introduce more yeast maybe, which is something that I've never really done, or the possibility or it's just going to be super sweet, or whether it'll be sweet enough. That's good. That's probably about the sweetness that I'd want, but I also want this one to carry on fermenting. That's real good. So I've made notes, and now I'm going to attach the airlock again and just let it do its thing. That should, I mean, it's slowly bubbling. The yeast has got to figure itself out as to what it's going to do now, and we shall see. If it gives up, then that's that. If not, then happy days. I much prefer that one to this. It's a lot sweeter, much nicer. Right, so that's all for today. That's the sack mead, and we'll see where this goes in another 7 days. I'm going to give it a week to take on those sugars, hopefully ferment them out, and we'll see where we are in 7 days. Hopefully 7 days, happy days. Take it easy.